Hey, Kevin.
Sorry, I was sorry, I was on mute there. Hi, Kosh. Um, no,
Yeah, I'm driving. You saw the note from Boppy, right? He was going to be late.
he was going to be
Um,
late. Yep. I was hoping that
I mean,
Eli would give
yeah,
a
he was
call.
going to be late. So I don't know.
Sorry, I
Because
don't know.
I'm driving.
Yep, you're driving. I heard that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is for today. Are you driving, Quinn, or are you at a place where you have at a computer?
I'm at my computer in my office.
Oh, good. Um, can we take a couple of minutes to talk about the white paper? Continue discussion from yesterday?
Sure.
I wanted to I wanted to share with you. I sent you an email. I don't know if you looked at it, but I wanted to share with you what I wrote.
Okay.
Uh, so the first, your suggestion was with respect to CRC and retry. So I added that, it's CRC and retry that are improving together that improve the burr.
Yes.
And so I added that there, and then this is all there was really no description of B2. So the other ones are about measuring burr and latency, but here we're just going to measure the bit error rate, or calculate it, I guess, depends. And report some new bit error rate too when the CRC calculation error detection are combined with retry. So
Yep, that makes sense. This is
Okay.
fine. I just didn't like the way we were presented before, where we were talking about retry
totally,
separate than CRC. And I agree that we should put the CRC with the FEC for the latency, so.
yeah. So that was trying to address your great point. So that was helpful.
I'm just, I guess, my only issue is what is it? You know, so what is the difference between the bit error rate you would report in 1 versus 2?
So there's the way they were numbered is 0, 1, 2. So you mean 1 versus 2, right?
So I understand.
Here's my thinking, and maybe this is right or wrong, but BL0 was going to report the bit error rate if you don't have any FEC or CRC.
Yep,
BL1
it's hardware, the
is,
physical wire error rate.
right, and then BL1 is BER for FEC or CRC. So let's say you implement FEC, then BL1 BER will be different than BL0. But let's say you're implementing CRC and not FEC, then BL1 would be basically the same as BL0 because you haven't done anything yet other than calculate a checksum. And BL2 would be, BL1 might be 10 to the minus 12 or 15 or whatever, and BL2 is where you get 10 minus 20 maybe. So,
But you'll still detect the error. You won't pass bad data.
in 1.
In 1, you still would not pass corrupted data outside of.
Yes, I mean, or you.
So you can't, it is effectively here's my concern is the errors you detect are the same for 2 and 3. It's just that 3 can keep going in the presence of those errors.
Right, and 2, if you don't have a retry and all you have is CRC, then you haven't improved the bit error rate yet. That's my thinking. That's why I thought that would be different.
But you have, right? You still detect the error. You won't corrupt data and let the system continue running. You just have to reboot.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, well, then I need to think about it.
So I guess I would just, if you change 1 to be undetected error rate, undetected uncorrected error rate. No, yeah.
Well, with CRC, it's undetected, uncorrected. With FAC, you're doing the correction, so it's hard to combine them both in one sentence if I do that. But I get your point. I need to think about that then.
So this is just, I think anybody who knows this really understands this. And I'm not really worried that we'll lose understanding. I'm just worried that that isn't quite the right way to describe it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of it as the undetected, uncorrected error rate with CRC when in the case of CRC. So I will add some note that says that because otherwise BL1 and 2, the bit error rate would be the same in the CRC case.
Yes.
But for FAC, it should be the corrected. So I need to add more language. Okay, I will do that.
Okay, perfect.
That's good input. All right, well, I'm glad we got it. We stole a few minutes to talk about that. I'm not looking at my screen. Did Elad join us or no?
No, I think.
All right. Hi, James.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah, I was hoping he would because that would be, he also had opinions on this section and he doesn't attend the Tuesday discussion on it. So shoot, I know Boppy said he was going to be late. There's Ron. I'm not sure if we had other topics for today. It's kind of, everything's focused on preparing for Chiplet Summit.
Yeah, it seemed to be.
Yesterday, we were talking about the link that allows you to register for the Chiplet Summit. I went ahead and filled that out. I'm not sure if, for example, the people who are speakers on your panel, James, are they automatically registered as speakers or do they need to register? I went ahead and, just to be safe, registered myself through the OCP link.
Right. I think if you did that, that should be set. Wait, let me double check on that one and get back. Did you get any email from
Got no emails. We're also a sponsor, so we probably registered as an exhibitor too. So I may have multiple registrations.
Well, yeah, one way or another, I think I also play multiple roles. I also speaking, presenting some papers, so I'm organizing. So I'm getting like organizing page, right? But I'm going to use that to present anyway. So I will check on it and get back to you on that. I think that's a good point. I think since you asked. Yes.
There's been not a lot of emails that I've seen about the registration. Even the one I sent to when I filled out the form through OCP, it said, thank you for like applying. It didn't say, you are registered. So I'm waiting for that response. I haven't seen it yet.
I see. But there's no email from the Chiplet Summit, right?
Nah, nothing.
Regarding registration. Okay, let me forward that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Sure. I'll get back to you. Yeah.
So the I think everybody but possibly Ron was in the meeting we had yesterday. We're doing, there's an OCP tutorial at Chiplet Summit, and one of the 7 or so topics is what's next, and really it's what are we going to be discussing in this meeting going forward, and based on Boppy's suggestion yesterday, I broke it into a backward-looking slide, and I blatantly stole this from Elad, so hopefully he's okay. But it just shows where we are. And then in this meeting, we're evolving to look at new requirements and we're working towards a 2.1 release with extensions, addendums. I'm not sure the exact format to focus on these areas. So that's for everybody, that's what you will see in next week. And what we'll be working on in this meeting going forward when we get past Chiplet Summit. Make sense to everybody? Any questions?
That makes sense.
Okay, I don't really have any other topics for today then. Go work on my Chiplet Summit stuff.
Are you going to include some of this, like the electrical performance information there in your talk?
Theoretical performance, what do you mean?
No,
For the performance increases?
yes. No, not perform increases. I think the one that we just talked about, electrical interfaces performance.
Oh,
That's yeah.
and
But that might not type to BOW directly, right? But that is kind of more for generic.
yeah, the higher performance could come from data electricals or data memory. It depends on your application, or optical by moving to optical. So I think we're going to address the performance from a couple of different ways.
Right. I'm more talking about that the electrical interfaces performance that white paper that we talked about here just now.
Yes.
You say that. So right. I wonder if you want to just kind of mention on that, right?
Yeah, actually in the tutorial there's a slot for Shahab to speak just about
okay, just
the
for that one.
metric
Right.
paper.
Right.
And what we decided, initially the idea was to release it this week before the summit, but there are two issues with that. There's a review period through OCP before it can become formal, and also it's not done, so minor problem. So we switched to saying, hey, we're going to say we have this metrics paper, it's whatever, almost done. Please come, join us if you want to contribute to it and solicit more inputs, both for the business white paper and the metrics one. So both of those will get talked about at the tutorial as being soon to be released, not already released.
Right.
That's the plan.
That makes sense. Yeah. Let's talk about from beyond.
We will give.
The
yeah, I was just gonna say,
perspective.
we will give access to those white papers, right? So that people can look at them early, right? And participate.
So.
And say they're pending, or is that plan changed? Because that was the plan.
So my answer is I have no idea. That's a great question.
I think Bobby has one solution for that. The other two papers where they kind of accessing to some link, external link at the tiny.cc, and
right.
for a draft version, and then maybe that could be one way to use for this one.
Yep.
Since it's obviously cannot be officially on the OCP website, since it's not published yet, so or approved.
It's a great question, and Shahab and Merrick both have slots during the tutorial, so that's a really good point. Maybe I'll mention it in the Friday meeting, is just if you don't think of it, to bring it up cautious. They need to not only call for participation, but they need to tell people where they can find it to review it. So yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, and my only thought was maybe you could put it at the end of our slide deck too. So just a thought.
Good idea.
It's just saying, hey, that way, because not everybody's going to attend every session. You know what I mean? So it would be good to just say, hey, this is what's happening in the future. We're participating. Here's some white papers, and also join us on, this journey for the next generation, right? With memory and IoT and stuff like that. So I think that'd be a good ending.
Yeah, it's a good point. And speaking about not everybody in every session. So James, you're organizing a session that's in the morning on Tuesday before that. And one of the questions that could be put to the panelists is about these metrics. What are the performance parameters, and how do you and I want to use that as an opportunity to promote this white paper from OCP.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I do have that topics on it. Let's move that up. I think I make sure that it covers. So I have about 10 topics to share with you guys. So I think the metrics is performance related. I think is one of them. So I can push that up so that I think top 4 or 5 will get. Discuss. I think it depends on the time. So I think and then the remaining will come up in the Q&A if there's not too after answering all the audience questions. There's still extra time. So. But we'll make sure it get asked so that we'll push up on the priority.
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Another thing I'm just thinking about, related to this BOW is like the is it makes sense even have some sort of like the kind of like the expected or recommended ranges for the BOW for some of these matrices? To set some sort of kind of standard.
Yeah, I think it is definitely possible to map I mean, the metrics were intended as a, like, if you've implemented a PHY, here's how you might describe it versus the metrics, but you could also put a standard and apply the metrics to the standard. The one caveat being like, I don't know, UCIe describes a whole bunch of different protocols, so
Right.
latency may depend on which,
Yes.
you can only really, it's a configuration of it, so to
Right.
speak.
That's
But-
why I'm trying to say similar to that one. Right? I think like people seeing that they might kind of expect similar and BOW. I think like for references when they're trying to build using a certain protocol, like certain configuration or hardware. I mean that maybe use some like example there and display some numbers and give people some idea what kind of performance they could be expecting if they use this kind of like most common, I think like configuration out there today or something like that.
Right. Maybe.
I really think that's hard to do because everybody's got their own little implementations, right? So yeah, it's a difficult one.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
It seems like the paper, the white paper and the Excel are made a little clearer if you could put an example in
Yeah.
or two. And that's why, I mean, a couple weeks back, I was saying, I don't know, they're describing, data. One of the entries is number of data
Right.
wires, and then how many data lanes in those wires.
I think that created too. I think that actually helped to create a lot of this kind of discussion, having all time. How you calculate T1, T2, right? Okay, this is an example, and then that's a number come up with T1, and this is how you get out your T2, and then it's very clear to people. I think how's that work calculated, and then okay, this is like the CRC is not included here. That was included there, and then that's the differences and things like that.
Right. Yes, we have to think about how to get to the next step to make it more usable, but at least for now, it's a good start, I think.
Right. Makes sense.
Okay, any other topics for today?
No, from my end.
Not from my end. Well, I know Bobby said he's gonna join late, but I don't think I have anything else to cover today, so you can
Let's get a half hour back of our lives.
far
then.
back and we'll regroup, and I'm sure on Friday is gonna be a long one, finishing off all the Chiplet Summit stuff. All right, see you
Right.
guys later.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.